Good morning, traders. Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are well today and are recovering from the crypto madness that's been going on in the market. So today I'm going to be talking about Forex, okay, GBPUSD. So we're going to be looking at cable, where it's a lot calmer. Mind you, that's been pretty volatile as well. I think the whole market is in a little bit of panic. There's a lot going on economically, fundamentally, and in the crypto world, there's a lot going on in terms of manipulation and so on. There's lots of theories, but anyway, today's main focus, guys, is cable. I want to do a technical analysis breakdown today, and I want to kind of share with you some insights, not just to make a prediction, but actually just to share with you some clues and things that you should be looking out for when making your decisions about whether to enter, whether to wait, and building your strategy around it. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to make my screen a little bit bigger here, and then we're going to get straight into it. Now, if you're new to our channel, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so that you'll get these updates going forward. And if you hit the like button, we'd appreciate it if you are enjoying our content, because it helps YouTube pass our channel on to more people if they see that they're enjoying the content. So that's that done. Let's get to the real stuff, the markets. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to look at a couple of things. The first thing I want to look at is the weekly chart, and I want to show you something here. What we can see here on cable is there's a couple of observations I want you to make. The first thing is I want you to look at the price action. So this isn't really a sustainable, drop. Okay, now it can drop lower for sure, but generally speaking, when you see like these kind of sharp drops, eventually you get like a big bounce. Okay, we haven't seen it a lot. Probably if we go back a little bit further, we'll find it at Brexit and so on. But there was a little bit of a move there and a little bit of a move there. Actually, one thing I didn't actually do, which I might just do now, thinking on the spot, is because these are kind of similar moves down, I'd just be curious to see how they measure up in terms of distance. I'm just going to do that. So I'm just taking these moves there. I mean, these two are probably the most similar swings, although I'm going to take all of them just to kind of be objective here. Okay, so this one was obviously at a much faster speed. So what we can do is we can take this here and we can just move it from high to low. And then we'll take this one and move it from high to low. And then we'll take this one. Okay. Now that one is an interesting one, very interesting one, because that takes us to this really reactive channel line down here. Okay, so which would be all the way down to 116. But I think short term, there is definitely some support coming in here. So you can see I've used the same projected line down. You can see we have resistance, became support. So it just kind of feels like the market may just react there as well. And if we look at the daily chart, if I'm being honest, I mean, we've got a little bit of a rejection there, but it's not really much of a rejection right now at the last daily close. So, I mean, at the moment, it doesn't look great. If I look at the 4-hour time frame, now what I can see here is, a little bit of consolidation, and you can kind of see that, when the market consolidates like this, and this is called a fade zone. Generally speaking, if it's going to reverse, it will generally just maybe try and make an attempt to go lower, maybe even take out these lows, and then try and push higher. Now, it is riskier to try and buy at these levels. So, for example, one of our strategies that works really well is our fade strategy, which basically means you're pretty much looking to buy the lows. Okay, so if you're going to do that, I'd always look for a really, really good price and confluence. Okay, so this area down here could be a really nice area because we have two fibs basically there. Okay, so we have this fib and we have this fib, and so maybe it's going to look to take out the lows and then possibly go higher. But overall, the weekly time frame, the weekly has given us some signs that there could be some support coming in. The daily, also small signs, and this is not really, this is just in a buying zone. Pretty much anywhere here is generally regarded as a buy zone. However, if you want to be more conservative, then you want to be looking for a break of structure before we get that big move up. Now, one of the things you might be able to see here are these moving averages. And you can see the 50 moving average right now is acting as our main source of resistance. So the market is holding below this 50-day moving average. The other thing you might be able to observe here as well is that generally speaking, the market is pretty much trending down, and there's a bit of consolidation there and then breakdown. And you can see again, consolidation, breakdown. So overall, we are making lower lows and lower highs. And if you have a look here, the last high point that was created was actually at this past support area. Now, that is approximately 124. Okay, 124. Current price is 122. So if you want to wait for confirmation, the way to do it is to wait, for example, let all of this happen. Okay, so whatever's going to happen, and then once we break a high point like this one, that's when you could start to get involved as a momentum trade upwards. Okay, and then another thing I like for momentum type trades is I like to see the MACD go above the zero line, especially in a 4-hour time frame. Okay, so if you can see that, then you'll get a signal that the market's likely to go higher. Now, I like to try and sort of get a little bit on the way down. Okay, and then if we get the confirmation, I will then look to add to my positions, or take profit and then wait for the breakout and then add a new position to go higher. Okay, so you've got to kind of identify what strategy is suitable for your personality, to make it work. And let's quickly also look at the hourly time frame. See this? So again, with this one, one of the things that I can see right now is, this isn't really taking off at the moment. At the moment, you'd kind of be looking at this and thinking, okay, looks like just a bit of consolidation, a bit of a flag, and technically speaking, looks lower. But maybe, considering that the weekly time frame is, kind of area where the market might hold, considering, it is Friday, there could be some kind of profit taking. So if you imagine, this isn't called by retail traders, it is called institutionally, to get these big red weekly bars. So if you imagine you're in a big hedge fund and you're net short of cable and you've got sizable position, well, it's Friday, it's the weekend, with so much going on in the world, there's a good chance we might get a kind of end of day rally. So just kind of look out for that. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to look for short-term opportunities for things like that. Maybe we'll get a little rally, and finish off in a bullish way. So for example, what would I be looking for? Well, if we just hold on, zoom out. I'm just going to draw a trend line here, see if we can connect. So that looks quite nice. And, and then you can see here, we've got these support points. So these areas here could be target areas. So if you can find a way to get in an entry point, maybe on a drop lower, maybe you can put a pivot point, or maybe kind of at these lows down here, then it might be worth a play. And often the markets do like to take out low points. So I think for me, if this dropped and broke these lows, I think it would be quite a no-brainer to look for a signal or maybe a bullish candle on a lower time frame to then take it up for an end of day rally. Considering the drop, considering, you know, people may not want to take that risk over the weekend, it could make sense. Now, you want to make sure that there's no major economic events. So you want to be looking at Forex Factory or something like that to ensure that there's no data that's going to kind of mess with that. And if you kind of look here, Friday, May the 13th, you can see all of the data that's coming out is either low impact or medium impact, which means that, you know, barring something that, you know, is unexpected, for example, you know, we should be okay with news. So, you know, considering there's not a lot of news, especially for sterling there, I mean, there's a little bit of news for dollar. It should be a good idea to do a potential reversal play if you're confident to do it. Okay, so you want to make sure you get a setup, you know, get confluence, find reasons if you're going to take that sort of trade, and look to buy low if you're going to buy it, and look for the obvious move. So something like this, guys, to kind of summarize, would be great. Just a simple end of day rally, you know, from wherever we are. So that's all, guys. That is all from me today. I hope you have a great weekend, everybody, and hope you're well, and we'll catch you again soon with another video. Take care.